Hey, Bo.
Alfie! What's going on?
Hey, Bo. How'd you like to go for a drive?
Really? Where to?
How about Dinner Key Marina? You can look at the boats in the ocean.
Sounds like the bee's knees. Let's go.
Bo, come over here.
What is it?
I need you to do me a favor and chat up the security guard. Tell him you own that hydroplane over there.
What? Why?
Just trust me. Oh, and if he starts asking you questions about it, just make something up. I get the feeling he isn't exactly the sharpest knife in the drawer.
Okay, if you say so.
Come on, Bo. Let's head back.
That was fun. I'm glad we made it back in one piece. Thanks for the ride, Alfie.
Is this the sort of magneto you need for the engine?
It sure is. How were you able to get one so quickly?
I have my ways.
Well, you really saved me some time. I'll get to work replacing this right away.
Fantastic. Here's your wrench back, by the way.
Thanks. Hey, you've really helped me out with getting this plane fixed. It should be ready by tomorrow.
George?
Yes, Alfie?
I think there might be something wrong with the car you gave me.
Oh? Has it given you any trouble?
It just sort of makes this clunking noise sometimes.
I was told it was in perfectly acceptable working order. Oh well, as long as it gets you around, you'll be all right.
I think I may have found your spectacle.
Wonderful. What is it?
Mabel Cody's Flying Circus. She's a wing walker. Does all kinds of stunts, apparently.
Sounds like a terrific find. Well done.
There's just one thing. She and her husband require payment in advance.
I see. How much?
$50 for a 30-minute show.
Reasonable enough, I suppose. You'll have to take the money out of our business account. Just head over to the Bank of Coral Gables and tell them I sent you to withdraw the money.
That's all for now.
Welcome to the Bank of Coral Gables. How may I help you, sir?
I need to withdraw some money.
Thank you for banking with us, sir. Have a pleasant day.
I'll try my best.
Everyone with their hands up. This is a robbery. I said put your hands up.
Now, just a minute. There's really no need for this.
Shut up, Mac. Nobody asked you to talk. Just put your hands up and hand over the dough.
Now, if you'll just listen for a moment.
Well, what are you playing at, bucko? I ain't got time to chat. Just hand over your dough before the boys in blue get here, will ya?
What do you think this is, playtime? You just come in here, waving a gun around, demanding everyone put their hands up? Have you even done this before?
No, as a matter of fact, I haven't. But this ain't about my personal life. This is about you handing over your money.
Is this really what you want to be doing with your life? Robbing banks? Surely things can't be so bad that you have to turn to a life of crime.
What do you know, huh? You got no idea about my life. Times ain't so glamorous for everyone you know. Just 'cause you get to parade around in fancy suits doesn't mean it's the same for everyone else. Now quit trying to distract me and just hand over your cash.
You talk tough, but I bet you've never even fired a gun before.
You shut up, you hear me? I don't gotta take this from you. I've shot plenty of guys. You don't even compare to half of them.
Okay, enough talking. So, what's it gonna be?
Okay, fine. I don't know what I was thinking coming in here, but there's gotta be another way. I'll leave you alone, but promise me you won't call the cops, okay?
Not bad, Banks. I'm impressed. Finally, a newsworthy story. Real estate agent foils bank robbery. I may or may not include a pun on your last name. I haven't quite decided that yet.
I'm just glad nobody got hurt.
How are things going on the Gables project anyway?
Not bad. In fact, you might want to come to the Granada airfield in a few days to see for yourself.
Sounds like a plan. See you there, Banks.
Here you go. I believe this takes care of your payment.
Certainly does. Much appreciated.
This is it. Are you ready?
I think so, Flyboy.
Are you kidding? I was born ready.
Only thing is, we can't seem to find Dave.
Who?
The fellow who drives me over to the plane so I can climb on it.
Quite a turnout today, Banks. Seems Merrick has got a lot riding on this little show. Feeling nervous?
Nervous? Me? Of course not.
Oh, by the way, Miss Cody, I ran into someone named Dave on my way over, and he said to tell you he wasn't feeling well. At least, I think that's what he said. He was a bit hard to understand, to be honest.
He probably got into Curly's secret stash of corn whiskey again. Well, looks like we're gonna need another driver if we aim to get this stunt performed today.
I'll drive the car.
You sure? You ain't practiced with us before.
How hard could it possibly be?
Don't worry, Banks. With a pilot of my skill, this will be like shooting fish in a barrel.
It will be, assuming you ain't one of those all hat and no cattle types.
I have no idea what that's supposed to mean, but I'm sure this will all go down without a hitch.
All right, let's get this done. We've got a crowd to impress.
Okay, Banks, it's as simple as cow pie. All you gotta do is keep her steady and let Curly know when to lower the top. That'll signal Flyboy. When the plane comes, keep her at the right speed and position so I can climb up on it. Woo-wee! We're kicking up a heck of a lot of dust.
Is that going to be a problem?
Nah, makes things more exciting, like a cattle stampede. Dang, position, Banks. Flybo will swoop around again. Make sure you're in the right position this time.
If I slow down anymore, we'll never...
Oh no, she's lost her grip!
Banks, do something! I can't hold on much longer!
She won't be able to climb up the ladder if she doesn't regain her footing!
Oh, that was a close one. Now, let's try getting it right this time.
Oh no, she's lost her grip!
Banks, do something!
She won't...
Oh, that was a close one. Now, let's try getting it...
Damn, we've run out of field!
Okay, Banks, it's as simple as cow pie. All you gotta do is keep her steady and let Curly know when to lower the top. That'll signal flyboy. When the plane comes, keep her at the right speed and position so I can climb up on... You were...
Damn, we've run out of field!
Okay, Banks, it's as simple as cow pie. All you gotta do is keep... When the...
Oh no, she's lost her grip!
Banks, do something!
She won't be able to climb up... Going too fast, Banks!
Mabel, step on the car roof so you can get your footing back.
Yee-haw! That did her! Thanks, Alfie!
So they finally gave me my own sales team after I practically had to beg them for it.
No kidding. I'm glad to hear they've finally come around. You get your own office too?
No, not yet.
Ah, well, things will work themselves out. I mean, it's only been, what, 3 years?
4, actually.
Well, you can't expect to become an overnight success, especially not with such a risky project. Have they at least given you a nicer car?
No, I'm still driving that old green heap around.
Ah, I see. Well, business talk aside, how's your brother doing?
Good, as far as I know. I haven't really spoken to him in a couple of months. Last I heard, he was going back to visit our mother. Wouldn't surprise me if he was asking to borrow some money. But then that's Bo for you. Born with a silver spoon in his mouth and spoiled rotten ever since. Anyway, Meeks, it was a pleasure catching up, but I really should be going.
Have a good one, Banks.
Mr. Banks, a message came for you from Mr. Merrick. He said to meet him at his mother's home as soon as possible.
Thank you, Morris.
Welcome to the Gables Diner, sir. Will you be wanting a booth or counter service?
Neither, actually. I was wondering if I could ask you a couple questions.
Sure. I guess that'd be okay.
I've never seen you before. Have you worked here long?
It's coming up on my 6th month next week.
Oh, I guess it's been longer than I thought since I've been by. Hold that thought. I'll be back. It's been a while since I've been here. I wonder why George invited me.
Hello, Alfie. Glad you could make it.
Thanks for having me. It's great seeing you all, although I have to confess I'm a bit confused as to why I'm here.
I'm glad to see he's managed to stay modest.
It is one of his better qualities, Mother. I just wanted to say that over the past few years, you've been extremely valuable to us. Not only have you helped immensely with establishing Coral Gables, you've also managed to climb the ranks in the office in a relatively short amount of time.
Oh, George, stop beating around the bush, would you? He knows what he's accomplished. What he's trying to say, Alfie, is that you're a man who can get things done. And as it happens, we need you for something very important.
Yes. Thank you, Eunice. My dear wife, always to the point. In any case, we're getting close to incorporating Coral Gables as a city, and that requires a special team. A team I want you to be a part of.
I'm honored, sir.
As I'm sure you've heard, we're only a day away from launching our electric streetcar line. We'll be having a ceremony to commemorate the launch. But we'll also be making a very important announcement. The new mayor of Coral Gables.
Mayor?
Yes, every new city needs a mayor. Since we're not a very big city, we have the luxury of foregoing elections and having the first one appointed. I think announcing the mayor along with the streetcars will bring heaps of publicity. Wouldn't you say so, Miss Douglas?
I've already got most of the article written. Just need to punch it up a bit with the details.
Why not bring in someone well-known to make a speech at the ceremony? That would certainly make an impression.
I thought you might suggest something like that, Banks. Did you have anyone in mind?
Not for certain, but I'm sure I can find someone in town.
I might be able to help you there, Alfie.
Well then, I look forward to seeing what you accomplish.
Good afternoon, Eunice.
Good afternoon, Alfie. What's on your mind?
How have you been? It's been a while since I last saw you.
It really has been too long, Alfie. But I've been well, thank you. Mostly busy with the PTA at the school George built a couple of years ago. We should have these little gatherings more often. You know you're always welcome here.
You're his wife. Surely George has let something slip about who's going to be mayor.
Oh, Alfie, you know how George is about secrecy. Even if he had told me I couldn't say. Especially considering he's standing right over there.
Hello.
You'll find out along with the rest of us.
Any insights on places I might be able to find someone well-known to speak at tomorrow's event?
I haven't really been out much lately, but I've heard that the Venetian pool is drawing quite the crowd. It's a beautiful day. Why not go there and get some sun? You might meet someone interesting, too.
I just might do that. Thanks. I'll speak to you later.
Okay.
Hello, Mrs. Merrick.
Hello, dear.
How have you been feeling?
Just fine, thank you. I'm content to stay in and watch everything going on around.
I'm impressed by all the changes myself. I can't imagine what it must be like for someone who's lived here for so long.
I'm curious to know what this place will look like in 5 years. I hope to be around to see it.
Oh, I'm sure you will. You must be proud of your son.
Extremely. George always did have ambitions, but to see him succeed... From what George has told me, I'm sure your parents are proud of you too.
Yes, I think they are. Would you happen to have an idea of where I might be able to find some well-known people in the community to speak at tomorrow's event?
Well, I don't get out too much these days. But I've heard that some notable people have been playing at the Biltmore Golf Course.
Great. I'll swing by. No pun intended. Nice talking with you.
Always a pleasure, my dear.
I just knew this hard work would all pay off. Oh, George, you sneaky old egg. Alfred Banks, first mayor of Coral Gables. If only you could see me now, Father. begging your pardon.
What is it, boy?
I'm sorry to bother you, but you look incredibly familiar. Have we met?
Depends. You're not a politician, are you?
No.
Didn't think so. You look too clean. I'm William Jennings Bryan. You may have heard of me if you've read a newspaper in the last 30 years.
Of course. Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Bryan. My name's Alfie Banks. I work with George Merrick on the Coral Gables development project.
I'm sure that's very exciting work, young man. You tell Mr. Merrick that this pool of his is quite enjoyable.
If I'm not mistaken, you're quite the advocate of prohibition, aren't you?
You bet your buttons I am. These freewheeling wets must be going through a tough time, not having been able to drink in all these years. I was having a conversation with one just last week. He was complaining about limiting freedoms by not allowing the enjoyment of alcohol. Do you know what I said to him? I said, well, if you need it so much, why don't you just call up your pal, Charles Darwin, and have him evolve you an extra hand to slap yourself in the face? Ha! You should have seen the look on him. I love throwing their ridiculous rhetoric back in their faces.
Could I be bold enough to ask you for a huge favor?
I'd say that is fairly bold, seeing as we've just met, but boldness is a quality I admire. Ask away.
The thing is, Mr. Merrick is having a ceremony tomorrow to unveil the new line of streetcars, and I think it would be an asset to have someone as famous as you there to give a speech.
Not interested. Streetcars are just the cousins of railroads.
I don't quite follow.
Now is not the time for a debate, son. Suffice it to say that the corporations running the streetcars don't represent the interests of the common man. And I very much care about the interests of the common man. So you'll understand if I politely decline your proposal.
Mr. Bryan, if you would just listen a moment, I think I can show you that speaking at the event won't be such a terrible thing.
Well, the least I can do is offer you the courtesy of my ears. Have at it, boy. Right. You think I should speak at this rally sponsored by the Streetcar Corporation. I eagerly await your reasoning.
My boss, Mr. Merrick, he cares about the people. You ought to hear him talk. He doesn't care about profits. He just wants to build a community people can enjoy.
Is that so? Well, he sounds like a man I could respect. I have to admit, what I've seen so far of his project has been inspiring. That he's doing it for the sake of the people is even more so. Not to be rude, but what exactly is the point of this rally, if I might ask?
We're trying to let the community know what the Gables has to offer. It's merely to benefit those who don't know about it and may be interested in moving there.
Sounds noble enough. I can support that motivation. I'm sure you understand my caution at lending my support. What sort of image is Merrick trying to go for?
He's focusing on aesthetics. Coral Gables is the city beautiful.
The city beautiful. I do like the sound of that. I'd say it's fairly admirable to be concerned with how your city looks. You don't find that ideal in many real estate types these days.
Listen, Mr. Bryan, I'm not going to take up much more of your day. I just want you to consider my offer one last time. Your presence at the rally will ensure that the people leave with the proper ideals and finely tuned moral compasses.
Well, when you put it that way, it does make the prospect sound considerably more appealing.
So what do you say?
All right, you convinced me. You let Mr. Merrick know I'll speak at that rally. Just tell me where and when I need to be there.
I'll be sure to pass along the message. George, I've managed to recruit William Jennings Bryan for the rally tomorrow.
You don't say. That's fantastic. Excellent work, Alfie. This will be a great boon to publicity. Make sure you're there bright and early tomorrow. I want you standing next to me when we make the announcements.
You've got it. See you tomorrow.
And so you can all look forward to a bright future in this, the City Beautiful.
Thank you, Mr. Bryan. May I say it's been an honor and a privilege to have you here with us today. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, before we conclude and launch our fleet of streetcars, bringing Coral Gables into the modern age, there's one more matter to attend to. I want to take this opportunity to thank Alfie Banks. Without his hard work, Coral Gables wouldn't even be close to where it is today. Which brings me to the last order of business. As you all know, we have been incorporated as a city, and every city deserves a mayor. So without further ado, it gives me great pleasure to announce the first mayor of the city of Coral Gables. Edward Doc Dammers.
Thank you, George. It's an honor. People of Coral Gables, allow me to express my excitement at this wonderful opportunity. As your mayor, I guarantee a standard of living like no other.
Would you excuse me?
Well, if it isn't Alfie Banks. Fancy running into you at the Biltmore. I thought you'd picked up and gone back to New York. Where have you been?
I've been keeping a low profile on purpose, if you must know.
Oh, come on. You can't still be sore about being snubbed for mayor, can you?
How did you...
I'm a journalist, Banks. It's my job to notice things. It's been over a year. Can't you let it go?
It's just... I feel like all the work I've put in over the past few years has meant nothing. Honestly, what do I have to show for it? I came down here to restore my family name, to honor my father's legacy, and instead I've just been going around running errands like a fool.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret, Banks. If you're looking for a pat on the back every time you make a sale, Merrick's outfit might not be for you. Not to say he's ungrateful, he's just extremely focused and he knows how to take advantage of his resources.
Take advantage is right.
Anyway, I hate to put a damper on your pity party, but I came here tonight as a reporter, and I think you ought to know there's a big storm headed this way.
What?
Yep, they're saying it's going to be a pretty big hurricane. You might want to get home while you still have one.
I'm sure they're just exaggerating. Wouldn't they have said something sooner?
Weather's not easy to predict.
Well, I appreciate the warning, but I'm sure things will be fine.
Suit yourself. I'm going to notify the people in charge of this party.
I guess she has a point. No reason to stick around here moping. I'd better get home.
Excuse me, pal. I'm looking for a fellow named Tom Walsh. You know him by any chance?
I'm afraid not, sorry.
Perfectly fine. I suppose I'll just have to wait for him upstairs.
Haven't I seen that face somewhere before? Where is everybody? Surely this hurricane can't be that serious a threat.
Gentlemen, thank you for meeting me here. I realize this hurricane has dealt a significant blow to our operations, but don't be alarmed. As you can see, our old sales office withstood much of the hurricane's damage, much like the city of Coral Gables itself. Things may be bad around the rest of Miami, but we will come back from this. In the past week, I've sent letters to our landowners assuring them that we've taken minimal damage. Coral Gables will rise from the ashes like a great phoenix. Let's carry on as usual. We have a lot of catching up to do. Alfie, before you go, could I speak with you a moment? I need a rather large favor from you.
You don't say. What might that be?
I've been hearing some worrying rumors concerning the Biltmore Hotel.
What sort of rumors?
It's no secret that organized crime has seen a spike lately, but I never thought it would reach us. I've heard stories of illicit gambling and alcohol being served somewhere in the hotel. I would appreciate it if you could investigate and report back to me.
Okay, I'll see what I can find.
And Alfie, please be discreet.
I'll try. Excuse me.
How may I help you, sir?
Don't I know you from the Hotel Belmont on Flagler Street?
Yes, I used to work there a few years ago.
I thought so. That was the first place I stayed when I got here. Things certainly seem to have changed for the both of us since then.
It does seem that way, sir.
Anything interesting you can tell me about the hotel?
It hasn't even been open for a year, but already I've seen more celebrities and high society folks in here than I knew existed. This place is really something special. It's definitely Mr. Merrick's finest work.
You don't happen to have noticed any strange goings-on lately, have you?
I'm not quite sure I follow. What do you mean, exactly?
I'm thinking of certain activities which are best kept behind closed doors.
I'm sure I have no idea what you're talking about, sir. And if I can offer a bit of advice, I don't think you should be asking these sorts of questions.
Did the hurricane cause much damage to the hotel?
Luckily, no. It knocked over a few trees, but no major structural damage. The hotel I used to work at downtown, though, that got completely destroyed.
That's a real shame.
I'll say. Would have been more so if I'd still been working there.
I'll let you get back to work.
Yes, sir.
Now, you look like a knowledgeable sort. No reason to keep all that information to yourself, is there? How about you let slip just a little bit, and I'll be on my way. Nobody will be the wiser.
I don't know anything for certain, but you might want to have a look on the 13th floor. Now please, go away and don't talk to me about it anymore.
Fine. That wasn't so hard, was it?